How's it going everyone, and welcome back to my Battlefield 3 weapon guide video series. Today we're going to take a look at the AK-74M, which is one of the lesser used assault rifles in Battlefield 3, probably because it's one of the first unlocked weapons you get your hands on as part of the assault kit, along with the M16, with the AK-74 being the default Russian weapon. Then you unlock the AK-74 for the US after racking up 220,000 points in your assault score. So let's get started with this guide and take a look at some of the AK-74M's general stats. Power figures listed as high, but it's the same old damage figures of 25 to 18.4, just like most of the assault rifles, with the exception of the G3A3. Recoil of the AK-74M is pretty low when you compare it to the whole spectrum of assault rifles, but compared to the M16, which is also one of the first unlocked weapons as part of the assault kit, it's not quite as low, but it does have a lower first shot recoil value, which sets my rating for the recoil as low overall. Just like all the assault rifles, the capacity comes in at 30 rounds. Then one of the main features of the AK-74M is its rate of fire, which comes in at 650 rounds per minute. Depending how you look at this, it could be an advantage or a disadvantage. On the plus side, you've got a slow rate of fire, which helps keep that recoil under control, especially for full auto fire at long range. But on the other hand, you're going to be outclassed at close range by the faster fire rate weapons such as the M16, with you not being able to get your shots out as fast as your enemy. Out of all the slow fire rate assault rifles, the AK-74 is definitely one of the better options. It's got very similar fire rates to the L85A2 and the new Scar L, but it's got a much lower first shot multiplier on its recoil at 1.5 as opposed to 2.5 or 2.75. This means the AK-74M is going to be particularly good at long range, with that first shot multiplier being low enough to allow you to fire out your 6 shots with fast burst firing while maintaining high accuracy. With other weapons like the F2000, which has an 850 rounds per minute and a 3 times first shot multiplier, it's going to be a struggle to take out those long range targets, seeing as every time you open fire, the weapon's going to kick upwards and make you miss your second and third shots in any one burst. Plus, with a high fire rate, it's going to be difficult to control how many shots you fire out with every quick feather of the trigger. Whereas with the AK-74M and its 650 rounds per minute, it's pretty easy just to control the weapon and fire out one shot at a time. So let's move on and take a look at my recommendations of an attachment configuration for your AK-74M. Being a weapon on the Russian side means you get the Cobra red dot sight first as opposed to the Reflex red dot sight. I actually prefer the Cobra over the Reflex in most situations, so it's nice to be able to unlock it first without having to go through the whole unlocks grind to be able to access this attachment on the allied weapons. So for the AK-74M you get the Cobra after 50 kills, but until then the iron sights are pretty adequate to use even for those long range encounters. For the primary slot, like with all the assault rifles, you've got the choice of the bipod or the foregrip. The horizontal recoil profiles of the AK-74M aren't enough to require the foregrip, so there's no point in sacrificing that long range accuracy. Otherwise you've got the option of the bipod, but if you're anything like me, you never find yourself in a situation where you've got time to deploy the bipod, so my recommendation is just to leave this slot blank. Then for the secondary accessory, like we mentioned, the AK-74M is pretty good at long range, having that low first shot recoil value and that slow rate of fire, which makes it a good candidate for the heavy barrel, which you get after 20 kills. With the heavy barrel you're going to be sacrificing some of that recoil from the AK-74M, but that increased accuracy is going to make it super easy to take out those long range targets. Just quickly burst fire those 6 shots and they'll all land with pinpoint accuracy, making this weapon a great anti-sniper tool. Just remember to stay out of those close range encounters, since you've got that decreased hip fire accuracy with the heavy barrel, plus that slow rate of fire which makes the weapon pretty cumbersome at close range anyway. So if you play tactically and move from cover to cover, taking out people at medium to long ranges, you can get some really nice scores with this weapon. So that's about it for my guide to the AK-74M in Battlefield 3. If you enjoyed my video or learnt anything new, please drop me a thumbs up down below just to help spread the word and share the video with your friends. If you've just stumbled across my videos, don't forget to subscribe to stick around for plenty more of these Battlefield 3 weapon guides, or you can check out the playlist to see any of the previously posted episodes from this series. Give me a shout on Twitter or Facebook if you want to give a suggestion on what weapon I should look into next. Otherwise, thanks for watching and I'll catch you all later.